Looks like I got a punched. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna show you guys some eyeshadow do's and don'ts. If you have trouble blending your eyeshadow and what goes first or second, you don't know what to do, don't worry, I got you. On this side, I'm gonna show you guys what not to do so you don't look like you got a punched or you have a very bad under eye dark circles. And on this side, what to do and how to make this transition very smooth and soft. In general, I'm just going to show you guys some tips and tricks on what brushes should be used, what colors, what highlighters, and what to put on this side to make the transition and to make the eyeshadow look really smooth and beautiful. If you're here to learn some do's and don'ts of eyeshadow, then let's just get into it. This side is the do and this side is the don't. First thing I'm going to talk about is prime your eyes. Do prime your eyes and don't prime your eyes. On do side, always start with a clean moisturized eyelid. Apply an eyeshadow primer to create a smooth base. That ensures a long-lasting and crease-free eyeshadow. This step also intensifies the color payoff. On don't side, we're going to be skipping eyeshadow primer, and this can cause creasing, smudging, and also it won't last your eyeshadow throughout the day. The primer helps to create a smooth canvas for your eyeshadow and prevents it from fading or creasing throughout the day. I personally don't apply primers, but primers does help to hold your makeup longer. The reason I use concealers is because it keeps my eyes hydrated, and already my skin is very dry, and using eyeshadow primers, it just makes my eyes more dry and flakiness. You can also use base concealers such as P. Louise. I can recommend that I really like, or you can just use your regular concealer. But if you want to use a primer, you can use these two primers. I have used it in the past. This is from Basic Beauty Eyeshadow Primer, and this one is from Urban Decay. LA Girls Concealer also is a good concealer to use for the eyes. This is what I use on sometimes, and I also use the Tape Shape Concealer from Tarte. I apply a little bit concealer, and if I need more, I'll go back and grab some more, but I like to first blend with the tip of my fingers because that just warms up the concealer with my skin and blends really well. And then I like to use a angle sponge that helps to fit on my eyelid, and I have so much control with it. And I personally love the sponge. This is from e.l.f. Cosmetics. Take your time and use the dabbing motion to apply the concealer. Blends really smooth onto my skin. I am not dragging this because by dragging it, you're just removing off of your eyelid. So cleaning your eyebrows just like this, it just makes it more smoother and nicer. In order to avoid creases and lines on the eyelid, we have to set the concealer with a powder. We have to make the transition very smooth by applying a powder on the eyelid. This powder can be your own skin tone powder or a little bit lighter, or a powder from the palette, which you can use the lightest color and set your eyelid. Use a fluffy brush and dust through the whole eyelid, making sure everything is set. For the do side, a good makeup brushes make a significant difference in your makeup application and in blending of eyeshadows. So do invest in few initial brushes such as a shader brush, blending brush, precision brush to achieve a flawless eyeshadow look. And make sure your brushes are clean at all time. On the don't side, I'm going to use these random brushes with excessive product on the brush, and this can lead to messy application and uneven distribution of colors. So on this side so far, we moisturized, applied concealer, and applied the powder. On this side, don't clean, don't put primer, don't conceal, and go directly with a very dark eyeshadow. I'm going to use the Huda Beauty Rose Gold palette, and I'm going to work only with the neutral colors. Avoid applying too much of vibrant shade all over the lid. With a fluffy brush, I'm going to pack with dark eyeshadow and go directly on my crease. You have to remember, once you do this, there's no coming back. You have to remove the whole eyeshadow and redo it, as it can overwhelm the eyes. Instead, use bold colors to accent certain areas, such as the outer corners or the lower lash line. On the do side, we're going to start with a transition shade that is in the shade range that I'm going to use. I'm going to use this taper brush, and this taper brush will make it easier to find the crease and to blend into the crease. Every time tap your brush like this, it will remove any kind of hair particles or extra products that's sitting on your brush. I'm using it very lightly and keeping my hand in the back of the brush, and I'm gonna use the back and forth motion until I'm satisfied with the blend. The key is to use a little bit at a time and gradually going from a lighter shade to darker shade. We want to make sure that looks very airbrush and nice and smooth. When choosing eyeshadow shades, take into account your eye shape and color. Certain shades can enhance your eye color or make them pop. For example, purple and gold work well with green eyes, while warm browns or bronze complement my type of eye colors. You guys might think this is a lot, but to get that gradient, soft and smooth look, I like to use 2 to 3 transition shade. This will give you that nice and smooth look. I'm going right in my crease below the other shade with very light pressure, going back and forth and slowly building that intensity. Now let's talk about adding dimension to the eyelid. At this point, the eyes looks very flat, has no color or shape. We have to create that by adding darker shades on the outer crease, more like matte colors. You don't want to go with the darkest shade, too much product with the wrong brush. To create your dimension by using fluffy big brush is just gonna make your work harder, because fluffy brushes make the product go all over your eyelid. Do go in with a small tapered brush and tap off the excess. Small precise brushes gives you more control to literally draw on your eyes. So I'm holding like I'm holding a pen and going back and forth or circular motion to create that V on the outer corner. If you want to use black eyeshadow, grab a little bit on your taper brush, place it on your outer V, and then work your way up. At this point, you want to do a lot of circular motion movement because we have a lot of harsh line that needs to be smoothed out. Remember, you have a lot of product that's sitting inside your brush, so you will have enough to work with. But if you need to get some more, make sure to grab some and still cutting off the excess and slowly go in. Do not pack all the product at once. The last step of eyeshadow is to use clean blending brushes. Here are 2 brushes I want to show you guys. For the don't side, I'm going to use this dirty, densely packed square shape brush. And for the do side, I'm going to use this clean, fluffy brush. It has bristles that is a little more free towards the top of the brush. So blending is crucial, but over blending can muddy the colors and erase the definition. So avoid blending your eyeshadow too high above the crease or extending them too far outer. You don't want to hold the brush too close, and that just gives you a hard time to blend the line. The goal is to maintain a gradient effect while keeping the colors distinct. On the do side, blending is the key to achieving a seamless eye look. Holding the back of the brush gives you more control. Use windshield wiper motions, gentle circular movements with blending brush to blend different eyeshadow shades together. This technique ensures to smooth transitions between colors and avoids harsh lines. Now is my favorite part, the shimmer part, where we apply shimmer in the inner corner of the eyelid. Applying shimmer is very important to choose the right shimmer and apply it the right way. I'm gonna use this palette from Revolution, and we're gonna go with this shade. You don't want to go with a dusty, flaky shimmer because that's just gonna spread all over the eyes. You don't want to go with a brush that's too dense and it's too big, and that's just gonna make everything worse. You guys do have fun with different eyeshadow finishes such as matte, shimmer, metallic, or satin. Combining different texture can add interest and dimension to your eye makeup look. Shimmer or metallic shades can be applied to the inner corner or to the center of the eyelid for a pop of brightness. By now, you guys already learned that eyeshadows are buildable, meaning you can layer them to intensify the colors. Start with a light hand and gradually add more product until you achieve the desired intensity. This technique allows for better control and avoids overwhelming the eyes. I like to use my highlighters as the inner corner shimmers. It just makes it look really nicer, prettier, and the shimmer are very, very fine, so it doesn't look too flaky and it doesn't move around. So I'm gonna go with a Fenty Beauty. This gold highlighter is like my all-time favorite. So then I'm just gonna grab a little bit. For the do side, you want to use flat, small brush that fits perfectly in the inner corner of the eyes. You can even use the tip of your fingers, which I do sometimes. Some shimmers are really hard to place them on the eyelid, so if you grab a little bit on your flat brush and then drag them down and shape it in the inner corner, try to keep the shimmer under the crease and make sure the lines are soft. If you apply it above the crease and already the shimmer moves around a little bit, it's just gonna look really messy. But when you put it under the crease, if a little bit goes above, that's okay. I like to use the same shimmer on my eyebrow bone because the shimmer is pretty nice and at the same time, my eyebrow bone gets highlighted. If you wanna pop your eyebrows more out, use a white shimmer and that goes under your eyebrow bone. It just highlights the bone so beautifully. Now we're gonna add colors on the lower lash line to redefine the lower lash line. You don't want to jump in with a dark shade and bigger brush under your lower lash. lash. That's just gonna make you look like you got a punched, or you have a very bad crease, or you didn't sleep the night before. And that's just gonna be so hard to blend the darker shade with the lighter shade. The goal is to, whatever we did on top, we have to do the same on the bottom, starting with the lighter shades and going in with darker shades. On the do side, I'm going in with a lighter transition color, and I am building the intensity gradually. I'm using the same colors that I use on the eyelid, and I am using the smallest tempered brush I have because I want to make sure that I stay within the lower lash. I don't want to make it look like I am creasing. Let's talk about lashes. Before choosing your lashes, make sure to take into account your eye shape, your eyeshadow style, because you don't want to put too long or heavy lashes that covers the style you just created, or you don't want to put lashes that make your eye look drippy or high because our eyelid cannot hold so much. Do apply 1 or 2 layers of mascara on your lower lash and on your top lash. Applying mascara before adding your falsies, it makes your natural lashes look very natural. At the same time, if you want to add falsies, it makes the falsies more volume. So on don't side, I'm not taking my time and I'm making it look like it looks clumsy, because if we do leave it like this, it's just gonna make the eyes very drippy and makes the eyes really not pretty. Don't add falsies that are too long or too heavy, or it looks so uneven that doesn't even match with your own lashes. Do use individual lashes if you know how to put them. If you don't, let me know. I'll make a video for this. These are actually one of the best and easy way to apply lashes. This is actually a lash that goes underneath your lashes and it stays there all day long, and it looks so natural. With this lash technique, you can't even tell if someone is wearing lashes because the lash strip is hitting under your lashes, and that makes it look very natural. Thank you so much for watching. If this video was helpful to you, give your girl a big thumbs up, and if I missed any kind of don'ts, please let me know in the comments. If you haven't seen these videos, make sure to watch them, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure to do so because I post makeup videos all throughout the week. You guys are amazing. I love you guys like always. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.